It is exactly 3:20 a.m. on Saturday, February 4th. And just as I reported in dozens of prior videos, every single time I try to use the toilet in my bathroom, there is sudden and real-time, moment-by-moment disruption from the sex offenders who reside in the adjacent units to mine. There is a sex offender, or somebody who should absolutely be classified as a sex offender, living in unit 78, who seems to have moved to 79, but she's squatting in her bathroom. Like, she seems to be accessing her old unit and sitting in her bathroom for hours at a time, engaging in the same disruption that she did when she was actually living in the bathroom of 78. Anyway, this person is always getting disruptive against the wall behind my toilet whenever I try to use it. Whether or not she's actually physically residing in that unit or in the unit next to that one, it doesn't seem to matter, because she seems to be accessing her old and currently empty unit anyway. The creep in unit 88 suddenly started making loud smacking noises directly against the wall that his unit shares with mine about 5 minutes ago as I was trying to use my bathroom. And at the same time, the violent thug who lives directly below me in 76, who I thought didn't even know he was around, he was pretty quiet over the last like 12 or 14 hours, suddenly started making loud banging noises at the same time as the creep in 88 was making loud banging noises. And at the same time, the creep across the street, there's a sex offender whose windows are directly across from mine, and that guy has lived in that building for 12 years, and he is legitimately a registered sex offender who has never left me alone in the entire time that I've lived in this building complex. Thankfully, he lives across the street and not in my building. But he started making loud banging noises against his windows, so it sounded like some metal rod was hitting his windows just now. Sudden loud banging noises from the unit directly across the street. It wasn't coming from the street below. The banging noises were not coming from the street below. It was metal on metal, and it was coming from the windows directly across from mine across the street. At the same time as the creep in 88 was banging on my wall, and at the same time as the creep in 76 was making loud banging noises suddenly directly beneath my bed. All of this happened within 2 minutes of me trying to use the toilet in my bathroom just now. It's 3:20 a.m. I mean, what are these people suddenly doing, making violent banging noises against the shared walls of their units with mine when I try to use my toilet? And then the creep across the street starts making banging noises of some kind of metal rod against his window frame or something. I don't even know what that was, but it was directly across from my windows and not coming from the street below. So that's 3 potential sex offenders, and there has been fumes and nonstop odors coming from the direction of the bathroom of 78 pretty much all day. I have to say, just now, there wasn't any agitation or disruption coming from the bathroom of 78, but there almost always is when I try to use a toilet in my bathroom, even if she suddenly was moved to another unit. She still lives on the floor. She still lives in the building. She has demonstrated quite an ability for picking locks over the last few years, and she's not shy to let me know that she can access this unit while I am inside of it. So she presumably has access to her old bathroom and engages in the same aggressive, disruptive behavior as she always has. So yeah, that just happened. I made a video almost identical to this one 2 days ago at almost the same time of the morning at 3:45 or 3:50 a.m. when I tried to use my bathroom 2 days ago. The creep in 88 suddenly started smacking the wall. The creep directly below me in 76 started making banging noises at the same time. I mean, how are these people even coordinating their banging noises so that it happens at the same time? This is insane. And no, I am not making some kind of mistake and thinking that, the noises from 88 are coming from below. Absolutely not. It's 2 completely different directions, 2 completely different kinds of noise. And then the creep across the street, the sex offender whose windows are directly across from mine, was making a completely different kind of banging noise that was metal on metal. So it sounded like he was hitting his metal window frames with some kind of metal rod repeatedly. So that just happened, and it was not coming from the street below. It was coming directly across from my windows and the windows across the street. I mean, this guy's been shouting at my windows for 12 years, so I know what the sounds from his windows sound like. And these metal on metal banging noises that were just occurring just now were coming from his windows. So again, when I tried to use a toilet in my bathroom 10 minutes ago, within 2 minutes, there was sudden violent agitation and disruption from 3 potential sex offenders who live directly adjacent to me. 88, directly next door, 76, directly below, and the verified sex offender who lives directly across the street from me and whose windows are literally directly across from mine.